Berel was a young man who was lucky enough to be a student of the great sage and Hasidic master Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Pshishcha. Once Berel was in class when all of a sudden he realized that he was really hungry. He hadn't eaten lunch that day, and now his stomach was acting up a bit. All of a sudden, just as this thought came to him, one of his fellow students asked a question of the Rebbe. The question was a very deep one, and the Rebbe fell into a very deep state of contemplation. Now, Berel knew whenever the Rebbe entered such a state of contemplation, sometimes he could be out in another world for a good, long period of time. So he thought to himself, maybe I can quickly go home and make it back before the Rebbe even comes back. So he decided, I'm going to do it. And he quickly ran all the way home, made himself a sandwich, ate a sandwich, and quickly got up to run back to the yeshiva once again. All of a sudden, as he was running, his mother stopped him. He says, Berel. She says, Berel, please help me. I have a certain thing I need help with. Berel thought to himself, wait, mother, I can't, I've got to make it to before the Rebbe comes to. I'm supposed to be in class right now. But then all of a sudden, Berel thought to himself, isn't the whole point of everything I've been learning to come to the point of action, to bring my learning to the level of deed? And surely, therefore, this mitzvah of honoring my mother takes precedence over me sitting and studying in class. Certainly, if I was willing to leave class to get a sandwich, I should be able to leave class and extend the time that I'm away from class in order to do this good deed for my mother. So Berel quickly helped his mom, ran back to class, and was pleasantly surprised to see that his Rebbe, Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Pshishcha, was still in a state of contemplation. But as soon as Berel sat down, the Rebbe snapped back to, his eyes fixed on Berel, a smile came across his face, and immediately he started giving an answer to that question that was so deep, and the answer was just so brilliant. Nevertheless, after he finished, he said, Berel, please, will you stay after class? So after class, Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Pshishcha says to Berel, tell me what happened during class today. So Berel wasn't going to lie to his Rebbe. So he said, Rebbe, I'll tell you the truth. And he told him how he ran to get a sandwich, and then he wasn't sure what to do when his mother asked him for help, but he decided to help her. And Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Pshishcha had a big smile that came across his face. He said, you should know that I was having such difficulty with that question. And the answer I couldn't figure it out. But suddenly, when you came back to class and sat down, you did not come alone. In fact, the soul of the great Talmudic sage Abaye accompanied you. You see, Abaye, his father passed away while his mother was pregnant with him. And his mother then passed away in childbirth, so he was an orphan. And therefore he felt, in a way, a little deficient in that he was never able to really fulfill the mitzvah, the good deed of honoring your mother and father. Therefore, said Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Pshishcha, whenever a Jew goes out of his way to perform a mitzvah, the mitzvah of honoring your mother and father, the soul of Abaye accompanies him and joins with him in the act. So, the reason I was able to come to such a brilliant answer precisely at that moment when you came back was due to the good deed that you performed, in which Abaye accompanied you and came back to class with you, and I was able, in that Abaye came with you, that he gave me the answer to this very difficult question.